Give myself slow permission now to rest without a reason given, to not explain the when or how, to simply be the one who's living. Permission granted, soft and wide, to simply be on the inside. Slow permission, this is mine. No one else gets to define. Slow permission, residue on me. Long after morning tries to clean, a trace of what I used to be before the daylight intervened. Night residue, soft remain. Something good in what the dark obtained. Night residue, mine to keep. The trace of the most honest sleep. Night residue, real and warm. The self I am beyond the form. I've started cherishing the trace of who I am when no one watches. The night reveals a softer face. The daylight carefully botches. Night residue, soft remain. Something good in what the dark obtain. Night residue, mine to keep. The trace of the most honest sleep. Night residue, real and warm. The self I am beyond the form. Still carrying a little of the night into the day. That's the best part of me. changes mine. I've been living in muted colors since the brightness became too much. Soft ochres and faded others, things that don't demand too much. Muted colors, soft and warm, beautiful the way things are torn. Muted colors, mine to keep, the palette of a life lived deep. Saturated things once called me, bright and loud and fully there. Now the quiet tones enthrall me, the colors only night can wear. Muted colors, soft and warm, beautiful the way things are torn. Muted colors, mine to keep, the palette of a life lived deep. There's more detail in the muted, more truth in what's been diluted. The loudest things are often less than what the quiet ones express. Soft ochre, faded blue. This is my palette now. I keep my eyes on the low horizon, not the peaks that others climb. The line where earth and sky keep rising slowly in their own good time. Low horizon, mine to everything that's going to be. Low horizon, wide and real, more than any peak could feel. Low horizon, soft and far, finding where we truly are. Keeping my eyes on the low horizon, that's where the real things are. At night I do my arithmetic of what I've spent and what remains. It's not a science, not a trick, just counting what the day contains. Night arithmetic, soft and slow, adding up the yes and no. Night arithmetic, mine alone, every dead and every alone. Night arithmetic, soft review, the quiet math of me and you. Some days the numbers don't quite work. The columns don't align just right. But there's a comfort in the quirk of reconciling in the night. Night arithmetic, soft and slow, adding up the yes and no. Night arithmetic, mine alone, every dead and every alone. Night arithmetic, soft review, the quiet math of me and you. The numbers never quite add up, but somehow the total feels right. Into the night, going into the night we go, into the one we know, into the night we flow, into the unknown, into the night we go, into the one we know, into the night we flow, into the unknown. City calling, night is wide, keep on falling, step inside. Into the night we go, into the one we love, Into the night we flow, into the all I know. Into the night we go, into the world we go. Into the night we flow, into the all I know. Into the night, going in deep, into the love.
Come to settle my night debt in the quiet of the late hour. bed is always manageable. In the late and quiet black, nothing here is unmanageable. When you lay flat on your back, night dead, what I owe the dark for the shelter of its quiet mark. Night dead, settling slow, paying back what the dark bestows. Night dead, soft and clear in the honest dark, I'm not so feared. Dead, settle for tonight. The dark asks so little, just presence. The night has its own texture, a roughness in the quiet dark, a softness in the architecture, a sound between the spark. Night texture, felt not seen, everything that lives between. Night texture, rough and fine, running fingers down the line. I've started paying more attention to the way the darkness feels, its density and its intention, the silence that it seals. Night texture, felt not seen, everything that lives between. Night texture, rough and fine, running fingers down the line. Press your hand against the dark, feel the texture of the night. It's not nothing, it's quite something, if you let yourself feel right. Feel the texture. The dark has texture. I had forgotten that.